Okay, let's call this June 12th, 2025, Thursday. I'll call it Tplus83. So what is in the ethers today by my brother-in-law about my sister, and they have met with the oncologist and they've decided to stop chemo and radiation and move into hospice care at home as long as possible, and then what happens next. A few weeks to a few months. So this isn't necessarily about, her. It's, more about how does it inform my tantric practice. And I guess when I did partner ice dance on Monday, as part of, warm up, tuning in, whatever, we kind of share things that are going on, just so we kind of feel for where everyone is. And I had mentioned, I was going up to see my sister the following day, and things seemed like they were deteriorating. And my skating coach and partner, has a pretty significant spiritual awareness. So when I said that, the first thing that she said to me is, "How do you feel about that?" And I guess if it was probably anyone else, I would have taken it different, but coming from her in a very sacred space, that's what our ice time is, it's a sacred space, made me reflect, like how do I feel? Like really, like right now, what am I feeling inside? And it was interesting that it wasn't sadness or grief or frustration or anger. It was just quiet. It just made me want to be quiet. And then Tuesday, I drove up to see my sister and brother-in-law, and she was able to, she wanted to be awake when I was there. She, sleeps most of the day, but she did plan and make an effort to get up for the 40 minutes or whatever that I was there. So, with her couple of words that she can say in her text-to-speech pad and note paper and pen, she really seemed like she wanted to have a conversation, like she was, struggling to do that, but wanted to have a conversation. And it seemed like the three of us were having a nice conversation, talking about things. But it did get to the point, talking about, oncology and palliative care, whatever that is, and hospice, and what the oncologist meeting the next day was going to probably bring, and, it got kind of emotional. I offered to, come up and spell my brother-in-law so he can, go take a walk or do something, just to get some fresh air, a little respite. And, he said it's not, the physical things aren't that demanding, at least not yet. But it's more of the emotional, just like you said, watching your wife die So yesterday, they said they were going to go see the oncologist and see what they said about progression and options and stuff. So I didn't want to bother them yesterday, but I'll say that we were watching our grandson yesterday, and in the afternoon I was just wiped. I could not keep my eyes open, and I kind of know from previous episodes of that's usually there's a pretty big energetic pull from someone close that is going through something. So it's usually my brother. Not that only my brother, but it didn't occur to me to correlate it to my sister's oncology visit yesterday when I was having that episode. My brother-in-law posted on the cancer webpage that the oncologist said things have progressed quite a bit, so they're looking to move into hospice care now. So how does that make me feel, right? Like what does that do to me? Yeah, I guess just a sadness. Not even gonna be 70, and like what the fuck? Like I guess we're always told that you work hard and long, you work till you're 67 or whatever, because that's when you get Social Security, and then you retire and you travel and you do all this shit, and you're fucking dead before you're 70. It's like, yeah, so how does that inform my tantric practice, right? How does it inform my structure? Just mortality, I always have this feeling that, I might make it to 70, but I might not make it to 70, and it won't be much past 70 if I do make it to 70. So, people say, oh, you shouldn't think like that, then the wish will come true. It's not a wish, it's just a feeling that, genetics, my family, heritage, people don't live that long. 70s are, not that common. So that just means, no sense putting off shit anymore, right? I put off shit for all my life, working until I retire. I'll wait till I retire. Well, I'm retired, I got a pacemaker, and I got a couple years left, right? So let's do what things we can do. So I guess it informs my structure in that regard. And it feels that I need to go up like once or twice a week to have conversation with Chris, her husband, support, visit with my sister, times she is awake or isn't awake, but just to be there with her. And just to be honest, when things get emotional, not try to pretend to be the strong person, nothing's wrong, just allowing things to be present, and what moves through, and don't attach to it, is what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's going to be very easy. It feels like it's going to be very difficult to be present and authentic in those situations. But somehow it's what it feels is being called for. So we will put out a good intent to the universe that I can do the part that I can and need to do for her. Yeah. Satnam.